We have some pretty bad news to report to you today about fast-track authority for the TPP. Huffington Post reports, quote, "The Senate made it official on Wednesday, granting Obama the power to streamline passage of major trade pacts with Pacific Rim nations and the European Union by a vote of 60 to 38. The approval of Trade Promotion Authority doesn't guarantee the passage of the Trans-Pacific Partnership deal, but does make the agreement's path forward easier by barring Congress from filibustering or amending whatever deal Obama reaches." So, recently they blocked it. We spoke about it when they blocked it, but I warned you at the time that it was a temporary victory because they were just arguing over little provisions here and there. They, by and large, agreed on the bigger picture, which is, let's give Obama the authority to negotiate another horrible new free trade deal to take jobs away from the American people. So, we get the bad news that, as of Wednesday, it was made official. They continue here and say, labor unions, environmental groups, internet freedom advocates, and the overwhelming majority of congressional Democrats have battled Obama over concerns that TPP and other pending trade agreements will exacerbate income inequality and empower corporations to challenge important rules and regulations. The fast-track powers approved by the Senate on Wednesday will last for 6 years and make them available to the next president. Good googly moogly. Now, I don't even trust Obama with this fucking authority. Let me be clear about that. But to make it so that, God forbid, President Chris Christie or Jeb Bush or any other numbskull might have the authority to negotiate any trade deal without having to run the provisions by Congress, that makes me sick to my stomach. They also go on to explain in the article that Elizabeth Warren is particularly concerned about the international tribunals that are set up under the TPP. Now, the way these things work is incredible, because it almost lends credibility to all the so-called conspiracy theorists who talk about the NWO, the New World Order, one world government, because what it does is it makes it so that the old paradigm is blown up. The old paradigm is you have a corporation functioning in a country, and the government is able to regulate the corporation. The corporation has to abide by the laws in the country. It's common sense, government 101. It has laws that everybody in the society has to abide, including the corporations. Well, this says, no. You guys are equal under the law. So if a corporation says to a government, we don't want to stop dumping toxic chemicals into this river nearby us, the government has to say, okay, let's take it to the International Tribunal where they'll decide who's right. But the way it works is if the government backed by the people pass a law saying stop doing X, it's not equal. It's not like you got to say, I disagree. Imagine they do that with, like, murder. The government is arresting me for murder, but I disagree that they're arresting me for murder, so let's take it to an international tribunal and figure it out there. Now, you might say, well, whatever, they might come to the right conclusion anyway. Well, who the fuck do you think is going to really fund the international tribunal? The people who fund everything. The corporations, the billionaires. So they're going to end up getting their way no matter what. This is basically setting up a system of corporate fascism around the world. It's insanity. And Elizabeth Warren is like, what the fuck are you doing? You're a Democratic president? You're a so-called liberal? And you're like, yeah, rock and roll. Give me the authority to negotiate this thing and let's do corporate fascism. Yay! So it is a terrible idea. Now, this next part in the article shows you the sad state of politics in America today and just how corrupt it is. They say, quote, shortly after the passage of the TPA, the Senate passed Trade Adjustment Assistance, which offers financial aid and job training to American workers who lose their jobs due to foreign competition. It has long been a target of Republican derision and served as a flashpoint for legislative drama earlier this month. So understand what they're saying there, because this just proves our theory of the political spectrum shifting way to the right. So the Republican position was, everybody shut the fuck up, let's do this corporate fascist deal, and we don't even want to help people when they inevitably lose their jobs as a result of us outsourcing all of our jobs. The Democratic position is, okay, no, cool, rock and roll on the whole corporate fascism thing, we're on board with that. But let's add a provision that says when inevitably people lose their jobs because we outsource the jobs, make it so that they can go to like a seminar to get trained for a new worse job where they get paid less money. This is what the fucking liberals have come to in America. Again, to be clear, there are some fantastic liberals. Sherrod Brown, Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, a lot of Democrats in the House, even some Tea Party people are against this because they don't want to give Obama more authority. So there are some good people involved in this whole equation. But the Senate? Oh, God, the Senate is fucking rotting. It's rotting because it's swimming in corporate cash, and they're going to do whatever their donors want them to do. And again, a lot of people in Congress as well. Same thing. So this is fucking horrible, man. Now, again, to be clear, this doesn't mean that the TPP has passed yet, but what it does mean is we're fast-tracking it, and President Obama can add provisions, take out provisions, however he wants, without having to go through Congress, and then when all is said and done, they can't filibuster it, but they're going to have to do an up or down vote on the TPP bill when it's finished being negotiated. Now, the saddest part of this all is there's no doubt all the litany of bad provisions in the TPP. It is impossible to make a TPP bill that doesn't fuck over the American people. No matter what, if they pass this thing, we're going to lose jobs, for sure. Every other trade deal, we've lost jobs. We're going to lose it for this one, too. There's going to be some sort of system set up where you have corporate fascism where governments are now equal to corporations. That's going to be in the final bill. Also, corporations can sue because they might lose future profits under this bill. So it's going to be corporate socialism also, because the taxpayers are going to have to fund these corporations if they say, hey, I think I should have made more money. So the bill's going to be bad no matter what. Even if they make it 10% better, 30% better, 50% better, it's still going to be a disaster. And your Congress sold you the fuck out because of who their donors are. So all we can do now is sit and wait until the TPP comes up, and then we'll see what happens then. Or actually, no, scratch that. We can do more than that. Call your fucking congressman. Call your congressman, call your senator, say, where do you stand on this? Hey, bitch, guess what? If you voted for the TPA, and definitely if you vote for the TPP, your punk ass is getting primaried, son. Oh, it's that simple. And oh my God, the progressive grassroots and Tea Party grassroots, we are going to support anybody who's not establishment and anybody who actually stands up for against things like this. Okay? You understand that? We got to make that perfectly clear to them, because we're not living in a democracy anymore. The American people are clear. We don't want this. But yet it's still being pushed through. And it's being pushed through because corporations and donors want it to be pushed through. Enough is enough. Let's fight it and make sure that the TPP doesn't pass now.